Welcome to The Explainer. Today, we're going to tackle a huge topic, the things that stop so many of us from building wealth by investing. We're going to look at the reasons, and yeah, let's be honest, sometimes the excuses that feel like giant walls between us and our financial goals. So let me ask you something straight up, because if you're like most of us, there's always a good reason to put investing off. I'll do it tomorrow, right? But what if those reasons, the ones that feel so real and so solid, aren't actually the roadblocks we think they are?
So that's what we're going to do right now. We're going to break down the 3 biggest excuses that can make investing feel impossible. And more importantly, we're going to show you how you can start tearing them down one by one.
Okay, let's just dive right in with the absolute #1 reason people give for not investing. It's the one we've all felt at some point.
Yeah, this one. I think we've all been there, right? You look at your paycheck, you look at your bills, and it just feels like there is nothing left over. But the key isn't always about earning more money. A lot of the time, it's about getting a really clear picture of where your money is already going.
See, the problem often isn't your income. It's these sneaky little things called cash flow leaks. Think of them like tiny holes in a bucket. Each one seems harmless, but together, they're constantly draining your resources without you even realizing it.
And here's the crazy part. Look at these things. They seem so normal, don't they? A coffee on the way to work, lunch out with coworkers. These feel like tiny little daily choices, not big financial decisions. But when you add them up month after month, bam, we're talking hundreds of dollars just vanishing from your budget.
And that's the thing. The combined effect of all these small, almost invisible expenses can be huge. It can leave you feeling like you're just treading water, Just trying to keep your head up instead of actually sailing towards your goals.
But, and this is the good part, this is where it gets really exciting, the opposite is also true. By plugging just 1 or 2 of those little leaks, you can totally redirect that cash flow. Even a small, consistent stream of money, when it's pointed in the right direction, can eventually grow into something massive.
So let's make this real for a second. Imagine you find just $100. Maybe you switch to a cheaper phone plan, or you brew your coffee at home for a month. You take that $100 and you put it to work. You invest it.
And this is where the magic happens. Thanks to the incredible power of compound interest, that single $100 decision, just left alone to grow for a few decades, could become over $10,000. I mean, think about that. It's not about having a ton of money to start with. It's about giving a little bit of money a lot of time.
Okay, so that leads us right into the next big excuse, because a lot of people think, all right, fine, even if I can scrape together a little bit of money, it's just not enough to actually matter.
We've all heard this one, right? And you know what? Maybe for our parents' or grandparents' generation, it was kind of true. You needed a serious chunk of change just to get a stockbroker to pick up the phone. But today, the entire game has changed.
I mean, just look at this. On the left, that's the old way. You needed a lot to start, you had to buy a whole expensive share of a stock, and you got hit with fees every single time. Now look at the right. The new way? You can literally start with a single dollar. You don't have to buy a whole share, you can buy a tiny slice of one. And tons of platforms have 0 commissions. The doors have been blown wide open for everybody.
So, okay, we figured out you can find the money, and we know that even a small amount is enough to get started. But then comes the big one. What in the world do you do with it? And that brings us to our final excuse, and honestly, it's the one that's the most intimidating for a lot of people.
Look, it is completely normal to feel this way. You see all the charts and the weird jargon and the talking heads on TV, and it feels like you need a PhD in finance just to get started. But I'm telling you, getting your foot in the door is so much simpler than you think.
You don't have to become a stock-picking genius overnight. Seriously, it really just boils down to these 3 simple steps. First, learn a couple of the absolute core concepts. Second, use the amazing automated tools that exist today to do the hard work for you. And third, and this is a big one, go get your free money. And everything you need is right at your fingertips. For the knowledge part, it's free. Go to the library, check out online communities like Reddit's Personal Finance Forum, where real people are just helping each other out. For the actual investing, things like robo-advisors are game changers. They're basically apps that build and manage a portfolio for you. And that free money I mentioned, if your job offers a 401k match, that is your first move. It is an instant 100% return on your money. You can't beat that deal anywhere. All right, so let's just recap. We've debunked the excuses. You don't need a lot of money, a little bit is plenty to start, and you absolutely do not need to be an expert. So what's the single most important thing you can do next? It all comes down to this one simple mindset shift. Stop thinking of investing as some big, scary, one-time thing. It's not. It's a habit you build, like going to the gym or brushing your teeth.
It's about being consistent over a long period of time. It's not about being perfect, it's just about being persistent.
So instead of waiting for that perfect moment when you've got more money or you feel like you know more, forget that. Action always beats perfection. The real question is, what is one small, imperfect action you can take today? Are you going to track your spending to find one of those cash leaks? Are you going to open an investment account with just 20 bucks? Or are you going to finally sign up for that 401k at work? Whatever it is, the most important step you can take is just the first one.